Welcome back. I am so excited about this new series. I'm going to be doing monthly reset videos every month in 2026. They are something I discovered kind of late in 2025. A lot of the creators that I initially followed in my YouTube love did not do monthly reset videos. But I would say over the last 3 to 6 months, I've discovered a few key creators that do monthly reset videos at the end of every month where they round up their finances, they round up their goals, habit tracking, and books they'd read that month and just what they got up to. And I was like, this is a fun idea. I really enjoy actually watching other people's reset videos, so I thought it would be fun to do my own. If you are new to my channel, my name is Cornelia, nice to meet you. I do make lifestyle focused videos, basically on living the life of somebody in their early 30s. I work as a producer full-time. I'm also an actor, a content creator. I make videos here on YouTube, and I run a small candle business. So I do a lot of different things. Predominantly my content is focused on living your best life, building out ideal wellness routines, and just maximizing productivity, because that's what I'm all about. But then obviously I love to have fun, love to travel, and I enjoy taking you guys along for all of those journeys. So in this week's video specifically, I'm going to round up my January habits. I did start a 75 soft challenge this January, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. I'm going to let you know about the book I've been reading, and we will dive into my monthly budgeting and how that all panned out. But I just wanted to do a little intro. Thank you for being here, and let's not waste any time. Okay. Book time. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, you probably know I'm not a huge reader. And I don't love to say that I'm not a reader, because I do actually love to read. I love books. I love learning. I literally went to theater school, so I have read a lot of plays. I've read a lot of history. But I don't make reading a hobby. I don't make it part of my daily ritual, which is something I've been trying to shift for years. I'm somebody who likes to be on the go. I like to be active. My hobbies are not usually sitting involved. I usually like to be outside, and I feel like I'm a very hyperactive person. So reading is not the first thing that I go to. I'm trying to read more often. Part of my 75 soft is reading. And so I'm almost done this book. It's called All That Life Can Afford. I've literally been reading it since the fall, but I'm almost done. I'm literally so close. I'm going to Mexico at the end of this week too, and I'm not gonna bring it with me because my goal is to finish it before then, and I'm gonna start a new book. If I can read 2 books a quarter, I will be happy, which would be 8 books a year. And for me, that'd be pretty good, because right now I read about 3 to 4 books a year. So I would like to hit 8. Even if I could hit 5 to 6, I would be happy. So, but what I will say about this book is part of my book club picks. I do a book club with 2 friends. We meet every few months and we talk about the book that we've read. So we picked All That Life Can Afford. It is from Reese Witherspoon's book club. If you like travel stories, fun kind of I was gonna say rom-com, it's not a comedy, but if you like romantic, fun, flirty books, this is definitely for you. I'm somebody who reads a lot of books based on Canada or America, so it was cool to be reading a book that was actually based in Europe. It's really fun. This girl, is American. She's tutoring and going to school in London, England, but then she gets an opportunity to go down to France with a family, a very wealthy family, and she's tutoring the high school student who wants to do her SATs to go to university in the States. So it's fun because she gets to, interact with all of these upper class British people who are living and partying in France. So it's definitely playful, adventurous, isn't super meaty or anything, but if you're just looking for a fun read, whether that be a cozy winter read or even just, this would be a fun book to bring on vacation, I highly recommend it. It's time to go through my 75 soft challenge and the habits that I've been tracking this month. Now, I will say this isn't 100% accurate yet because the month isn't done. I am having to film this video before I go to Mexico because I don't really have anywhere to sit down and do a chat with you guys when I'm in Mexico. So bear with me on the numbers, but I am gonna break down on how the challenge is going so far. I did create a video a few weeks ago of my 2026 goals, habit tracking, and setting that all up for the year. So this is my first look at how things are going. So I do have my goal and habit tracker in front of me. So far, I will say it's going pretty well. So just looking at January, my habits were to walk daily, to drink my magic water 5 days a week, which is my creatine, aminos, and electrolytes. No phone after 8 p.m., read 5 times a week, close my movement ring 6 times a week, 3 liters of water every day, give gratitude, morning journaling routine, yoga and Pilates, like I'm doing a yoga challenge, and then no refined sugar. So let me break down which ones are going well and which ones are not going so well. So let's take a look at the daily progress tracker. Okay, so for context, I'll go through my daily habits first, and then I'll go through my weekly goals and my monthly goals. And again, we are 3 weeks in to my habit tracking. I didn't start tracking until January 5th. That's the day that I kicked off my 75 soft. And it was like my first day back to work after the holidays. So January is a little wonky in terms of days, but I'm in my 3rd week now of tracking my habits, and then I have 1 more week after this, but I will be in Mexico, so I will know how my habits went, but I won't be able to update you guys exactly on it because I'm going to release this video on Monday the 26th. But this gives you a good sense of where things are at. So reading 5 times a week, I'm actually doing great at. The last 2 weeks, I read 5 out of 7 days. This week, it's only Wednesday, so I'm not there yet, but I'm on track to hit that goal. Walking daily, I've been really good about walking. I actually have only missed 2 days out of the last 3 weeks where I did not go for a walk, so I feel really good about that. The area that I'm not doing so great in, I would say, is the no refined sugar. Not to be here to make excuses, but what I will say, it was my boyfriend's birthday, literally the first week I started this challenge, so there was cake and treats involved. And then I was also on set that week, which whenever you're on set, well, whenever I'm on set, there's always some sort of treat because the days are so long. I definitely started doing better last week and into this week, but so far I've only not had refined sugar 4 days, which is not great. But I'm not gonna beat myself up about it fully. I am just trying to eat as healthy as possible. And I do eat quite healthy. Like I cook a lot of meals at home. I try to get good amount of protein and vegetables every day, but the sugar is something that I definitely struggle with. So we're working on that. My morning journaling, I would say I've done it about half the time. I definitely have days where I just have to get up and go, and that's something that I'm trying to do better at this year, and I'm glad that I'm tracking it now because I can see the days that I'm doing it. But I would say I'm kind of at a point where I'm doing it like 3 to 4 days a week, where I'm getting up and either going through my agenda or like doing a morning practice. I would like to get to like 5 days a week, but we're getting there. My magic water, super easy. I mean, I love to drink water. I love adding my supplements to it. So I've done that every day except for 2 days out of the last 3 weeks. So that was great. My yoga and Pilates is so-so. What I'm definitely noticing as somebody who wakes up, starts working, then goes to my 9 to 5, and then comes home, I have to work out. So when I'm trying to balance a yoga challenge and working out, I find that difficult. I know the 75 hard, you're doing like 2 workouts a day of 45 minutes. And I think I explained in my last video, I just don't have time to do that. I need some time in my day to spend with my friends, family, myself. Basically at this point, I've been really good at either working out or doing yoga and Pilates, but to do both in one day, I would have to just not have any spare time, because at this point it's I get up, I start working on my own creative ventures, I work all day, then I go to the gym, and then by the time that I'm home, it's close to 7 o'clock at night, and I go to bed by 9, and I still have to eat dinner and hang out with my boyfriend a little bit. So to do the yoga and the working out, I'm finding that a little challenging. So I'm splitting the difference. So yoga and Pilates, I would say I've done about 3 days a week, each week so far. And I'm balancing that with my strength training. I went to a spin class the other day. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to a berries class. So I'm being very active. I think I just overshot the idea of doing yoga 5 days a week on top of my strength training and on top of my cardio. It would be single if I lived alone and I had no social life, but I do want to prioritize actually having some downtime in my days, and that last 1 to 2 hours of my day I really find important just for my mental health to unwind and relax. 3 liters of water, it's been great. I've only missed 4 days out of the last 3 weeks that I have not had my 3 liters, so that's pretty good. I would say that's 1 day a week, one and a half days a week where I haven't hit it, but otherwise hitting it. And then no phone after 8 p.m. I've checked off every day except for one. And the one day I was out late with friends and I came home and I was on my phone. But aside from that, I've been putting my phone away. I'm not somebody who struggles with that. I don't scroll at night. I don't even really scroll much in general. Like, I chat with my friends on Instagram and I text, but I'm not just sitting on my phone wasting time. So yeah, only one day where I didn't put it away before 8 p.m. And then, so those are my daily habits. So feeling like pretty solid. I'm excited to see where I land at the end of the month. My weekly goals, I would say, have been 50-50. Again, it comes down to doing the yoga videos. So 5 yoga videos. I've landed usually between 2 to 3 yoga videos. So I can't really check that off as completed. Reading 5 days a week, which has been a win. My 3 days of strength training, I feel like has been a win. I think I missed one day last week, day 3, but aside from that, I've been staying consistent. And then hitting up a Pilates class. I did that last week and I'm gonna be doing that this week. And then once I go to Mexico, I'm gonna try to do yoga on the beach because they have actual classes, so that will be fun. And then my monthly goals, so I'm not fully done checking them all off yet, but I have been meal prepping, so that's been good. I've been meal prepping green juice every Sunday, oats every Sunday, and I did make soup last week. I wanted to attend 2 ClassPass classes, so check that off. I went to a spin class and a berries class. I wanted to attend 2 Pilates classes. I can check that off. And then the 20 yoga videos, I'm not done the month yet. I don't think I'm gonna hit that, but I'll probably hit 10 to 15 yoga videos. But again, the month's not done, so we'll see. And then in terms of financial goals, I wanted to pay off and catch up on my visa after Christmas. So I did get a small bonus from work in January, so I was able to pay that all off, which feels great. And then career goals, I wanted to post 5 YouTube videos. I'm on track to do that, which is great. I want to post 20 TikTok videos. I'm on track. I want to post 4 times a week on Instagram. I'm on track to hit that. I think I only posted 3 times last week, so this week I'll post an extra day to make up for it. And then I really wanted to understand the Like to Know It app because I just got approved to be a creator on there. So I have been doing weekly training sessions for that app, but I do still need to sit down and really learn it. So I hope to do that when I'm on route, to Mexico. So that's the month so far. I'm really enjoying this whole tracker aspect. I don't remember to go in here every day, but I typically every other day I'll pop in and I'll update the check marks. So it's a good way to stay on track. I'm definitely learning I'm somebody who has a pretty balanced life already. And on the positive side, I feel like I live a balanced life. And so I don't necessarily need to do this. But on the negative side of doing this, I would say I often feel like I always have something to do. I have a stacked calendar every day. There's always something to do. There's always a list. There's always check marks that I have to hit. And so adding this in has felt a little bit like, oh God, I have more to do. So I'm a little torn. I'm definitely gonna keep doing it, but I guess for me, it's already every day from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. at night, I'm okay, what do I have to do? I have to go for a walk. I have to work out. I have to do these emails. I have to answer to my bosses. I have to film a YouTube video. I have to film UGC content. There's always a lot of have to do's. And so adding these check marks, I don't see it as a negative. It's all good stuff. It just feels like more to do's. And I think I'm struggling with that a little bit. I think I'm craving a little bit of flexibility and downtime where I don't have to answer to a list or to somebody else. So that's something that I'm working through. But so far, it's been really interesting and it's nice to see what I'm really good at and where areas that I can improve in life. So that's the goals and the habits and the tracking of the month. Okay, it's intention time. So if you guys have been following my channel for a while, you've definitely heard me talk about monthly intentions. And if you're a reader of the blog that I co-write with my best friend, Living in Lifestyle, we've done a ton of posts specifically about monthly intention setting. What I love about intentions, and I've been doing them since 2017, is that they're a great way to set up your month for success on a less harsh way. Like it's not like strict rules you have to live by or like goal setting per se. It's more, what are you intending to make happen this month? And I do feel like they're part of a bigger process of, you know, obviously overarching yearly goals, which then get broken down into quarterly goals, which I then break down into monthly intentions. So for example, one of my goals this year is to become monetized on YouTube. Well, how am I gonna do that? Obviously, quarterly goals, I wanna post 5 videos a month, which is 15 videos a quarter. And so then when I'm doing my February intentions, one of those intentions then should be post 5 YouTube videos this month. Or like doing the 75 soft challenge, you know, walking every day. One of my intentions is move mindfully. Move your body daily, go for a walk daily. So just reminders of things that you're working towards. They don't have to be career focused, they don't have to be health focused. They can literally be like, take more moments of pause throughout your day. I just find it a nice way to really get clear on what you're hoping for in the month ahead. So we are nearing the end of January. I have my January intentions in front of me right here, and they were the following. Begin 75 soft, which I have all the rules of my 75 soft listed out here. I wanted to post 8 Substack posts, so I've started a Substack community, so the 8 articles going out was my goal. I've put out 6 so far, so I'm almost there. Take 2 fitness classes in Calgary, pay off my visa. So basically any debt that I had previously, I wanted to pay that all off to start this year fresh. Lean back into my early morning routine, so getting up at 5:30 a.m. again. And then I just wanted to remind myself, you know, a slow start to 2026. It's okay as that all your goals necessarily aren't set the first week of January. So take the month to really get aligned and decide what I want for this year. So obviously I still have about a week and a bit left of the month, but I actually am on track to do all of these things, which is great. And then now I'm gonna set up my February goals. And what I'm thinking for February, you know, I'll go back and I'll look at my Q1 goals in my book and be like, okay, what am I wanting to achieve for the first 3 months of the year? And I will design my February goals with those in mind. So let's do that now, and then I will share when I'm done. So I've finished my February intentions, and I have this little pouch that I actually got down in New Orleans years ago, but I keep all my markers in it because every month I like to make it fun with my intentions in color. So I've got February done. I'm not the best writer, my art skills are not fantastic, so not the most aesthetic, like all of my months are just different colors typically, but it works for me. I can read it. So this is what I have on the table this month. And a lot of them are career focused just because that's really where I'm focusing my energy at this chapter in life. But every season looks a bit different. So my first one is actually just personal, but enjoy all the fun that February has to offer. It's my birthday month, a lot of friend time. I'm house sitting. I have a lot of exciting plans. I have my birthday, my sister's birthday, another friend's birthday. I am house sitting here again for a week, and it's just fun to be like in the city, seeing friends. And I know winters can be really long here in Canada, but I always have a lot of fun in February. So just like soaking that in. Second intention is it's my second month of my strength program. So a lot of, I listen to a lot of fitness podcasts, and a lot of them will say by month 2, you'll start to feel and notice changes. So hoping to just keep consistent at the gym, really fueling my body, focusing on protein, eating whole foods as much as possible. Then I want to post 5 YouTube videos. So again, I want to do 5 videos a month, which is 5, 10, 15 per quarter, which is 60 videos in 1 year. So that's my goal. I want to pitch 15 brands on LinkedIn. So I'm really trying to utilize LinkedIn a lot more, trying to create videos for different brands. And so utilizing LinkedIn, I find a lot easier sometimes than like Instagram. I want to finish setting up my Like to Know It because I just got approved to be a creator on Like to Know It. I'm setting up a new UGC platform called Join Brands, which it has a very intensive setup process. Like I have to get like 20 certifications before I can even start applying to jobs. So I'm almost done that. And then I just want to make sure that all of my UGC portfolios are up to date. I'm on a few different platforms. If you guys are interested in getting involved in UGC, the ones that I'm on personally are now Join Brands, Incense, which is an app, Breakaway, Coplenty, Coally, And I think those are like the main 5. Oh, and then there's a couple other like mini social I use as well. And that's like typically where I get my brand deals. And then I want to make a brand business plan. What direction am I going? So one of my goals this year obviously is to become monetized, to start landing more actual brand deals, not just UGC. And I'm just trying to figure out like, how do I want to position my brand? And so that's something I want to get clear on this month, just so that when I'm creating content and when I'm doing reach outs, I'm very clear with what I'm working towards. So a lot of work stuff this month, but I'm feeling really good about 2026. And so yeah, that is my process. Okay, now we're gonna look at the budget for the month, and I'm realizing I'm going through a lot and this video is probably getting quite long. But I didn't want to leave out the budgeting aspect. Now, I've been very torn about sharing my finances online. I don't feel super comfortable sharing every single detail because I do have 2 separate income streams, or 2 separate bank accounts. I shouldn't say income streams, I have multiple income streams, but I've got a personal bank account and I've got a business bank account. And both of the finances and accounting is very different for each. Certain things come out of my business, certain things come out of my personal. Like personal is obviously my mortgage, groceries, utilities, doing fun things, going out to eat, anything that it's like my day-to-day. My business is any of my like subscriptions for my editing programs, subscriptions for, mostly just the editing programs, like Netflix and Spotify is under personal, but like I use CapCut, I pay for Canva, I have Apple storage, I have Google storage, I have CapCut. I have a few apps for my creator side of things that comes out of my business. So I was like, well, do I want to share my business income? Do I want to share my personal? I wasn't quite sure. My vehicle is also tied to my business. So like, I definitely need multiple income streams to make it all happen because my full-time job is just not enough. And obviously I love being a creator and like, so that is like my passion, but I also get paid for some of the stuff that I do, which is exciting. And I just want to see that grow, obviously, every year. But yeah, I've decided I will definitely share some of my personal finances. I'm not going to break down each line item for you because that would also just be like a whole separate video. But in terms of what I've spent, I'm happy to share kind of like where I'm at. Again, the month is not done. It's still like, it's the 21st today. So I'm not fully done, but I am heading to Mexico in about 2 to 3 days now. And so I'm not going to be spending my normal money as of Friday. So it's pretty much done for the month. And then I will have some pesos on me when I'm down there, but likely when I check out, I'll pay off some food and drink, but that will come out of my February budgeting. So regardless of that, this is where I'm at for January. This is where some of my money has gone. And I do use the CoPlenty Yearly Budget Advanced 2.0 tracker. So not only do I track my finances with CoPlenty, but I also have the habit tracker that I shared earlier. If you're interested in getting either of those at a discounted rate, click the link below. I've been tracking my finances on and off since I was in high school. Like I've always been a very tracking-based person. I definitely took time off of tracking finances in my 20s when I lived in Toronto because I was making really good money and I was like, I don't have time to track. I don't need to do that. But then as I've gotten a bit older and have like a set salary job again, I decided to start tracking again as of like 4 years ago now. And I love it. It's game changing. You can see where your money's going. You can see, your savings goals, where you're maybe spending too much. Super helpful. If you want to take control of your finances, I can't recommend this more. So the way my tracker works is I do have a salary. So I have my expected versus actual income. You can also make tabs. So if you have multiple income streams, you can write them down in this tracker, which is very exciting. I do not bring in money from my business to my personal account just because all of the money that I make in my business is already spoken for. But as I grow as a creator, I imagine that will shift and I'll probably start to pay myself dividends when I'm making enough money to do that. But in terms of my expenses, so I have it based under needs, wants, and savings and debt. So needs are like your mortgage, your utilities, your groceries, anything that like is a must every month. Your wants are more of the fun stuff. Savings is pretty self-explanatory, and then any debt. So looking at my needs, my mortgage is $1,800. My utilities, I budgeted $200, ended up being $192.50. So that I do split with my partner, and that is internet and like hydro. Groceries this month, I've spent $539.09. Bank fees was about 18 bucks. And then any interest that I had on previous debt was $99.20. In terms of my wants, coffee shops, I set a budget of $85. I've spent $82.57. Dining and takeout, I set a budget of $100. I've only spent $34.57. I have not gone out as much this month. Fuel, I budgeted $150, and I have to update the last couple days, but I'm pretty sure I'm just at 75 bucks for that one because I do split my fuel between my work account and my personal account. Medical and supplements, so really just supplements because I don't have any medical costs. I spent a lot. Apparently $429.41, which sounds insane, but it was actually a couple months worth because when I had paid off some of my December spending from my supplements, that's where it accumulated. So I did a full restock on my vitamins. I bought 3 months worth of electrolytes, and I bought something else. I can't remember, but it was in that supplement world. So again, it wasn't just like 1 month, it's like multiple months of supplements, and I just did a big restock. Alcohol, it says I've spent $0. I budgeted 25. I did go out the other night and I have to add that total up, but I believe I did spend probably around like 40 to 50 bucks going out. Shopping, haven't spent much this month. I'm only at 20 bucks. Beauty supplies, I'm only at 13. Beauty and self-care, haven't spent anything. I did just go get my legs waxed for my trip to Mexico, and I think I'm gonna get my nails done, but that'll come out of my February spending. Fitness, I've spent $178.99, which is pretty standard every month. I do have a Pilates class pack. I have a class pass, and then I also have a gym membership. So those three total about 180 bucks. Haven't spent anything on adventure and activities. I spent $29.10 on home decor, $33.26 on my subscriptions, which again is just Spotify and Netflix. Gifts. This was partially catching up from Christmas, so my gift spending is a bit higher because I did have a friend's birthday and Christmas gifts, so that came up to $665.45. Nothing on Uber and transit. Travel, a lot of what I will allocate for travel will come out of February because I am going to Mexico, like I said, so really it was only $47.52, but when I catch up on my February spending, it will be higher. And then my cat, didn't spend anything on her this month because we stocked up on food and medication in December. And then miscellaneous, $4.12. Now, savings this month so far, I've put $100 into my investment account, $75 into my fund money savings account. I will be putting $50 into my family account. I took a month off of topping up my emergency fund. And my RSP and TFSA from my other bank, I'll be putting in 150 bucks. So what was great about January is that I was able to pay off a lot of stuff from the end of last year. And now I'm trying to like keep the savings low just for the first couple months of the year to make sure everything's aligned and that I've paid everything off. And then as we head into like the end of Q1, I'm gonna up my savings quite a bit. And then I paid off $52.50 of a personal loan. So I'm on track. Basically, I've spent about $4,594.47 this month. And like I said, that's pretty much going to be it for the rest of the month. And then anything that goes through onto this Visa bill will come out of my February spending. That's typically how it works for me because I don't get paid every 2 weeks. So like at the start of the month, I get paid at the end of the previous month. So like for January, I got my December pay at the end of the month, but I use that towards January. So like I won't get paid until like next Friday, which I will then use for February. So there are some transactions like travel, for example, or like the nails that I'm gonna get done today that'll come out of my February income just because of the way my pay period falls. It's a little weird. I have never been paid only once a month before. This is definitely new for me, so it's a bit strange, but that's just the way it unfolds with this job. So that is my yearly budget tracking for January. Editing on the floor in this airport, so I'm trying not to make it obvious that I am filming this video right now. It is 11:40 at night.
Calgary time though, it's almost 1 in the morning, and I've been up since 5 in the morning, so we're almost hitting the 24-hour mark. Almost. I'm exhausted. I am so exhausted. But we'll be in the sun soon, so just wanted to say thank you for watching this week's video. It's the end of this week's video, which is the January reset, and then I am starting my work with me in Mexico vlog. So consider this the outro and the intro for the next one, and I'll see you guys next week. Ciao, ciao.